Hey there, beautiful people. It's Coach Mike here with your Mindset Monday on this first Friday of the week. I am your health coach, strength coach, educator, motivator, bad jokes, raising hopes. Don't let it happen, make it happen. Patty Daddy. All right, so today we're going to talk about the Fogg behavior model. So this is a model that was developed by a psychologist, BJ Fogg, and the idea is it's all about behavior change. So how do we change behaviors, and what's the best way to go about it? And BJ Fogg's idea behind behavior change is that the smaller the changes that we make, the smaller habits that we look to change, the better off we are long term. So what BJ says is that for every behavior, in order for a behavior to change, the motivation, the ability, and then the prompts all have to be happening at the same time. So if one of those three, if the motivation, the ability, or the prompt is missing anywhere in this process, then the behavior is not going to change. So if we look at what this model shows, we have our graph here, and we have motivation, we have ability, and then we have here is what we're calling the action line. So when action actually happens and habits start to change. So when motivation is low and things are hard to do, they tend to fall on this side of the line. When motivation is high and the actions are easy to do, it tends to fall on this side of the line. So we're going to take a really simple one just to give you an idea of what that looks like. You think of coffee. So if you like coffee, which I would say most people do, if you have a coffee maker at home and it's first thing in the morning, you're used to having coffee, it's your motivation is going to be high, right? Because it's first thing in the morning, and because you have a coffee maker, then it's easy to do. So when we have that high motivation and it's easy to do, then it falls on this side of the line, and we tend to change the behavior, right? We're happy, we're good to go. But then, say for example, you still want that cup of coffee, but now you don't have a coffee maker, you don't even have the means to make coffee, you've run out of coffee, and you've got, it takes 20 minutes to get to work, and you're already 5 minutes late. Now, your motivation might still be high, but your ability to go get that, unless you want to be late for work, it's going to be much harder to do. So while your motivation is still super high, you still want your coffee, but now it's much harder to do. And now what happens is not so happy face. So while we have the prompt is I want my coffee. We're motivated, highly motivated, but it's hard to do in this situation. So the behavior doesn't happen. But then on the other side, if the prompt is I still want my coffee, my motivation is high, but it's easy to do, then the behavior is likely to change and the action is going to happen. So that's the kind of thing that we want to do with our everyday behaviors. We want to try to, even if our motivation isn't that high, it's not super high, but we make it easy to do, then we're still gonna change the behavior because it's easy. That's kind of what we want to do, and we can do that by habit stacking. So something as simple as say you want to get good at push-ups. So you say to yourself, every time I go into the kitchen, I'm gonna do 5 push-ups, and you do that for a week. Then you say, okay, I've gotten good at the 5 push-ups. Now every time I go into the living room or go into the kitchen, I'm gonna do 10 push-ups. Right? So you're stacking a habit on top of an already established habit. So it could be every time I go to the bathroom, I'm gonna drink 12 ounces of water if you're having trouble getting your water in. If, say, you have a habit of snacking late at night, if if you want to eliminate a habit, you say, okay, every time I go into the kitchen, I have to write down why I'm here. So you have this habit of going into the kitchen, but now you have to break that cycle by writing down why it is you want to go for the food. So that's the idea behind the Fogg behavior model. I hope that makes sense. But if you guys have any other questions about how this relates to your fitness, your nutrition, your mindset, reach out, let me know, and I will be happy to answer any questions that I can. All right, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Look this up, you'll see a bunch of videos on it on YouTube. BJ Fogg behavior model and behavior change model, and you'll find lots of stuff on there. But until then, I'll talk to you guys next time.